Welcome to our show entitled Rewiring the Brain to Build Happiness. Happiness is the ideal state that we all pursue. It's a broad term that describes the experience of positive emotions such as joy, satisfaction, contentment, and fulfillment. People are trying to find happiness by doing things that are good for them and things they are good at, as well as by doing good for others. There is another intriguing way to build happiness, which is by rewiring our brain. Thanks to the development of neuroscience in recent years, we now have a chance to know a marvelous function of the brain called neuroplasticity. It refers to the malleable nature of the brain, specifically its neural networks, and its ability to change and adapt as a result of experience. How does neuroplasticity relate to happiness? Neuroscientists believe we can intentionally change our brains using neuroplasticity to achieve a happier state. The key is attention and awareness to positive experiences through mindful practices. Before we go further, let's first find out how our brain works. Negativity bias is a natural tendency of our brain. This means that people pay more attention to bad experiences than to good ones, which explains why individuals generally tend to recall criticism more than praise. This tendency to focus more on negative experiences is likely the result of evolution. For example, in ancient times, the surrounding environment of our ancestors might have been full of potential dangers. Those who were more alert to the threats were more likely to survive. Although the world we live in nowadays is much safer than before, the negativity bias still holds a dominant role in the brain to influence how we think, respond, and feel. Dr. Rick Hanson, an American psychologist and best-selling author, says, "The brain is like Velcro for negative experiences, but Teflon for positive ones," which is a great analogy to the built-in bias that humans are equipped with. Is there a way to overcome this negativity bias? We can start by paying attention to the thoughts that run through our minds. When we find ourselves thinking negatively, we can kindly remind ourselves not to be tricked by the brain. Pause a moment to disconnect the string of negative thoughts and focus on something else. Exercise, reading, or listening to music can be good ways to avoid ruminating over an unpleasant situation. Changing our brain toward positivity takes some practice. Due to negativity bias, moments that create positive or neutral feelings in our daily lives are relatively short-term in our memory, while negative experiences are often easily registered in our long-term memory unconsciously. Therefore, it's important to practice paying extra attention to positive experiences in order to make positive entries in our memory. When something good happens, take a moment to recognize the positive feeling. Replay the moment several times to register the wonderful experience. A famous quote in neuropsychology states that neurons that fire together wire together. According to Dr. Hanson, the more you get your neurons firing about positive facts, the more they'll be wiring up positive neural structures. Through this simple practice, neurons are given more opportunities to work together for positive actions by establishing new neural structures. Training this way every day, we can restructure our brain to change our mind for the better. Paying attention to good things is essential to shape a positive-oriented brain. Focusing on the moment is also crucial for a happier life. A research article in the journal Science described that most people spend around 47% of their waking hours in mind wandering, and this non-present state often makes them unhappy. Our thoughts can easily drift to topics that are irrelevant to what we are doing. For example, we may not be aware of the taste while we eat, or One may appear to be listening to a speech, but they actually have no idea about the content. Because of distraction, we easily miss wonderful moments that benefit our well-being. According to neuroscientists, when people pay attention to the internal sensations of the body, whether through breathing, meditation, yoga, exercise, or anything we enjoy, a part of our brain called the insula is activated. The insula is involved in love, emotion, and empathy. Persons practicing awareness become more in touch with themselves and also become more empathetic toward others. Therefore, focusing on the present, as many philosophical and religious traditions teach, is a wise suggestion to follow. Happiness matters because not only does it make us feel good, it also helps us develop a stronger mindset for life challenges and brings many health benefits. Research shows that being happy can boost our immune system, which helps us fend off common colds and diseases. Furthermore, happiness helps reduce stress. Excessive stress causes an increase in cortisol levels, a hormone that contributes to many harmful effects of stress, including disturbed sleep, weight gain, and high blood pressure. As many studies have noted, that's why happier people tend to have lower cortisol levels in response to stressful tasks. In addition to strengthening the immune system, happiness is linked to lower blood pressure and a reduced risk of heart disease. Studies also have suggested that being happy may help people cope with arthritis and chronic pain better. And happier individuals tend to be more likely to eat healthier diets and engage in physical activity more. With all these positive results, it's no surprise that being happy is correlated to longevity. As we've heard previously, consciously focusing our attention on good things can facilitate the neuroplasticity of the brain to help shape a more positive mind. Here are some other useful methods that we'd like to share with you to aid in boosting happiness in your daily life. Put on a smile. Happiness makes us smile, and it's actually a two-way street. Just putting on a smile can trick our brain into believing that we're happy. These facial muscle movements send a signal to our brain, triggering the release of hormones, including dopamine and serotonin, which can increase our feelings of happiness and reduce depression. It's worth trying to start your day by smiling for a few seconds. Even if you don't mean it, forcing a smile on your face can also give you a boost in mood. Get creative. Doing something creative can help process our emotions or simply brings us joy. It could be drawing, dancing, baking, gardening, playing an instrument, or doing any other hobbies we are fond of. It may bring us a sense of achievement or even uplift our mood when we are completely absorbed in the flow state of mind. Spend time in nature. Nature has the ability to calm our minds and lessen our stress. Try to live in the moment and open our five senses to relish these feelings. We will feel recharged and go back to daily life with more strength and energy. Cultivate relationships. According to studies, good relationships with family, friends, and community members can be significant in bringing happiness. Such positive social connections are associated with better physical and mental well-being. Remember, it's not quantity, but the quality of relationships that count. Count your blessings. Taking time to reflect on good things that happened in our day or people we appreciate in life can elevate our mood. Research in a clinical trial found that writing a daily gratitude list for 14 days can increase positive affect, subjective happiness, and life satisfaction. Practice mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness trains us to focus on the present and improves our well-being. For example, it can activate emotion circuits to build resilience to help prevent depression. According to Dr. Hanson, mindfulness can thicken the insula, thus strengthening internal sensing and empathy for others. A study showed that people who practice mindfulness are more likely to notice positive life experiences and be grateful for them. Engage in acts of kindness. A small gesture can brighten someone's day as well as make us feel happier. When we do something good for others, it lights up the brain's reward and pleasure system, which increases serotonin and dopamine to promote happiness and satisfaction. On top of that, it may create a virtuous cycle that encourages actions of altruism. We hope that today's show will help you find greater peace of mind and more happiness.
So learning biblical words, how it's transcribed, is really helpful and it will open up your love of God even more because you'll see we have a vegan God. There's a vegan Jesus and you'll start seeing that. It's amazing. The Reverend Father Donatello Iocco, vegan.